This is fitness warm-up for phase 1, starting with scoops. Athletes should lay flat on their back, extend the straight legs all the way out before elevating them to 90 degrees, and then we're going to transition to chest crawl. It's really working on those muscles behind our shoulder blade, lifting the entire torso up off of the ground with both arms staying elevated. Then it's low reach crunch, working the lower abdominals, raising our shoulder blades up off the ground as we slide our fingertips towards our heels. And now we're going to pistons. One leg is straight, the opposite leg comes up into an H position with that shin high. The toe is dorsiflexed, both legs elevated the entire movement. Opposite arm leg raises. We're lifting the leg using the glute, lifting the arm using the shoulder and the back, and we're switching so that we never have two levers on the ground at the same time. Now we're going to go to side crunches, and we'll start by getting our shoulders flat on the ground and then our legs up like we're seated in a chair, and then we'll rotate the hips over and keep the shoulders flat. And now we'll raise the chest straight up, and then we'll switch to the other side. Now we're going to go to some mobility movements, starting with inchworms. We want to start in a pike position with our hands next to our toes. Our legs are straight, stretching out the hamstrings, and then we walk the hands out into a plank position, and then we move toe over toe, keeping those legs straight to get back up into the pike position. Stretching out our hamstrings, working on our core strength all the way up into the pike and all the way out into the plank. Now it's walking pillar dip. Take a step and then dip the torso forward as we raise the back leg, not opening the hips. We want to keep the shoulders square. Walking leg swings, hands up high, swinging that foot right up between the hands, really opening up the hamstrings. And now it's hip trunk rotations. Again, we'll get into that position with our shoulders flat and our feet up, knees bent like we're seated in a chair. And now we're rotating our hips from side to side and keeping our shoulders flat and head down. Really trying to work the core muscles and keep the movement continuous. Now we get into an inverted position with an elbow stand. This is inverted splits. Working on our range of motion in the groin, crossing over as we bring the legs together, and then opening the legs laterally as wide as we can. We'll follow this with inverted scissors, and in this position we want to make sure that we're moving the legs forward and backward evenly, so our leg is headed over our head and the opposite leg needs to extend in the other direction. Now it's chest eagles. Shoulders and chest stay on the ground, and we rotate the hips and sweep that long leg out so that our heel gets all the way to our fingertips, working on our ability to separate our upper and lower body. We'll flip it over for back eagles. Again, this is hips rotating, shoulders flat, head should stay down, and we're kicking that straight leg up, working on mobility in our glute and hamstring. And finally, backward prisoner lunges. The important thing here is to keep those elbows back, Chin up, really activate those lats and pull the shoulder blades back as we reach with a long leg backward, bringing that back knee down so that it's almost touching the turf, and the front knee is at 90 degrees. Torso centered over the hips. That's our fitness warm-up for the first phase.